I tested Gemini Omni Flash, so you don't have to. Half the price of Seedance 2.0, roughly the same price level as Seedance 2 Mini. That's the pitch. Cheap and supposedly great at video editing. Let's find out if that's marketing or actually reality. But first, a quick detour. Google also dropped Nano Banana 2 Lite. So, quick sanity check, Nano Banana 2 Lite versus Nano Banana Pro. Say that 3 times in a row. Yeah, the results are sobering. Out of 4 images, 3 have very obvious errors. Look at this. And this. And in my opinion, that's not usable. That's the whole review. Well, let's move on. For Omni Flash, my testing method is actually simple. Every test runs once directly in Google Flow and 1 or 2 more times through an aggregator platform. That way it's a fair test, not the model is bad when actually the platform does something weird. Omni Flash is supposed to be strong at video editing, taking real footage and transforming it. So that's where we're going to start. Test 1, a recording of me picking up a Switch 2 controller with my hand. The task, turn it into a Game Boy from the 80s. And the result? Interesting, Google Flow immediately gave me the best error message that I had of all time. Video editing is not available in my region yet, and it suggested I please edit a different video instead. Same game actually in Runway. It got blocked. Then I tried it in Higgsfield and there it worked. And wow, here are both clips actually side by side. Honestly, surprisingly good for a Flash model. The hand, the motion, the retro Game Boy, really good result. Now, test 2. A recording of a plush pigeon that suddenly becomes real, flutters through my apartment and I chase it frantically with my phone camera. Important detail, the real pigeon has to keep wearing a hat. Results actually also pretty good. The hat survives, which impressed me. The pigeon feels lifelike, but there's a small logic error in the camera, a jump between the turn and suddenly we're at our fridge. Physics in space and time seems to be sometimes optional and we'll see about that later. Otherwise, surprisingly solid. So editing claim, it holds up. Next test, direct tasks. First, Kira gets into an Ioniq 5 on the passenger seat. The camera orbits the car from outside and ends up on the passenger window from outside. Kira looks at the camera. 3 attempts, all 3 failed. Here's what went wrong in detail. Attempt 1, good beginning, then she disappears. Then there's a cut, a wrong side, and she's on the driver's side. Attempt 2, wrong turn direction, driver's seat. She is mirrored in the car as herself holding the camera and she's on the driver's side. Attempt 3, it's too slow, then there's a cut and she's again on the driver's side. Orbit shots with character consistency apparently is still too much. Next, product videos. Energy drink can, classic social media thing. The plan, the can jumps into the air, it rotates on its own axis, pineapple and vanilla explode into pieces in the background, they merge, yellow liquid with the pieces fly towards the can and then fills the screen, cut, pack shot with fine cold droplets running down the can. Result? Okay-ish. There are individual problems again. The can moves in weird places, the colors aren't quite right, the yellow liquid gets ignored completely. It's partly good, it's partly strange. What is good? The text on the can actually didn't change. That's quite a hard part in 720p resolution. With a bit of work, the right cuts and a few extra detail shots, you could use this for an ad. Next, UGC ad for the same product. Fitness influencer grabs the can, opens it, takes a sip and says with German accent, because I find that funny, into the camera,
"Holy shit, this tastes way too much like real pineapple. I hate pineapple."
Results? The UGC stuff kind of works. A few small problems again, but overall you can work with this if you cut it right. And honestly, this is probably where this model will earn its money. Gemini Omni is supposed to be good at explaining things, so let's do a 2D explainer film setting. I know stuff about planes, so let him explain a modern jet engine with small infographics on the side and again German text because this makes it harder. Results? Yeah, it works sort of. 3 or 4 attempts with the style reference, 1 without. All 3 of the style reference have clear errors. Strange effects, especially the arrows that are supposed to show the airflow direction at the top of the screen are weird. These are small details. Also, the placement of the text is wrong and doubles, and it does a lot of weird stuff, especially labeling wise. A lot goes wrong with the German text. And now for the final test, physics, the hardest one. I'm guessing I'm floating in space on the ISS and I just tap the pen that floats away from me, rotating on its own axis. The camera follows it, and through a window we see the rotating Earth and the station itself moving. Not quite easy, because that's lots of physics that should play into each other. And the results actually show it. The physics are all over the place. The pen does what it wants, the camera does what it wants, the astronaut, let's call it's freelancing. Nobody in this shot has read a physics book before they went on the ISS. So, what's my verdict? It's overall better than I expected, but worse than I hoped. The editing functions are generally better than I expected. That's the real strength. And in almost every other generated normal video, there are a lot of small errors. Almost every video needs at least one reroll, sometimes several, before you get a usable result, either through cutting or, if you're lucky, through a single video. Simple physics are fine. Anything more complicated, in my opinion, it falls apart. To be fair though, I also tested the astronaut shot in Seedance 2 Mini and it struggles also with it. Not as much, but there are also clear things that aren't right. I think at half the price of Seedance 2.0, Omni Flash is a legitimate tool for editing and UGC content. For everything else, I would still prefer Kling 3.0 or Seedance 2.0. Links to everything down below if you want something. And guess what? See you in the next one. Have a great day.